There's proper protocol that asks for myself that will unify what has to happen in our nation. You have a big nation, but at the same time too, to go through this prophetic thing that we have to go through, we still have to reach out to a lot of people, but this is a lot. I just wanted to let you guys know this is where it stands and this is how it is with us. I was angry when I came over here, not here, to Winnipeg. And I had to look and I was searching my soul. Do I have to fight for you guys with all the atrocities I went through? But at the end of the day, we're done playing cowboys and Indians.
Here.
Yeah. The only people that win is, like I said a lot of times, we play cowboys and Indians in a freaking casino. Guess who wins all the time? The house wins. Now at the end of the day, we step out of the house and we come together. That's what I got. So with that, I just wanted to tell you I'm very proud. It was a hard fight to come here. It was a very hard fight. Everybody was asking me why I'm not alive and anything because I had to shut my phone off. I thought it was a very important time. This is not a game. I'm playing with lives if it was a game. It's their future. We don't have anything left that we already got taken away. I lost my tongue. You know, I lost a lot of my culture. Good thing that my grandfather gave me a lot of law that I still hold today. But at the same time too, I wanted to say a lot of you guys lost your culture. You guys had tribes before. Not talking about Christianity, I'm talking about 500-600 years ago. And that's probably the reason why we had to work together, because maybe with our help, we can actually show you what spirituality is. It's not about religion, it's about inside here. And that's where you guys find truth. And that, I think, is my truth, my sister.
There's one thing I forgot to say, and I didn't see that he was behind me. But in Ottawa, I kept hearing, where are the warriors? Where are the warriors? These warriors, they're all here.
Yeah.
You guys were looking for the warriors, my brothers from Oka. They're 15 minutes away from me. Do we really need to have a patch saying warrior? Stronger than you?
No.
Well, apparently yes, because you're all sitting down. Do we have any warriors here? Do we have any life givers that will stand up? One thing I want to say is I didn't even know you was behind me. But this he fucking went to jail and he's again there. So we can all do it. I had to escape from SIU. I'm still here. They didn't catch me. Mama Bear is back on her 2 feet. She's still walking. Colin is a hell of a warrior too. I remember April 29 when they got this truck back in Ottawa. You all remember, they say? Colin was playing drum. We had these cups again. I was walking on the line with Chief, Colin, and Louis with the drum. When they saw me come here, what did they do? All these cups went like this. Chief brought you all in protection with Colin and Louis again. So when you guys go back home, I don't want to see lives. I don't want to see who's doing this or not. I want to see you guys doing real action. We need to save the food. We need to take real action. It's over these rallies, yes, we need to keep it at, but we need to keep going with a real action plan. Time, we don't have it no more. Solution, we do have.
And I just want to add a few words to that, okay? We need to all learn how to come back to being human beings again, okay? It's not what name we call God. It's not the color of our skin, the culture we come from. Those are the things that divide us, okay? We are able to have our different belief systems. That's the beauty of democracy. You have your different belief systems. You hold on to yours while respecting others. And we can all live in peace together, okay? And we can all walk this road together. And we will walk this road together. And we will walk to victory. I'm just going to pass the mic maybe a little bit around. If anyone wants to speak from the heart up here, let us know now. If not, we can wrap this up. Are you guys good? Anybody like to say anything? Oh, come on, Auntie. Here.
Hi, everybody. I'm from Nagazjiwatan. I'm here. We got you. I'm here to support the voiceless because there's so many. Please go to your MLAs, your chief of council, and talk to them. What they are doing is not right. We were meant to walk in harmony with each other and with Mother Earth. I'm sorry. Stand strong and stand with each other and be positive and love yourselves. Take care of yourselves. Good energy. We don't want this government in our lives anymore. We take control of ourselves. I just want to thank you all for showing your support to come out here because we need more. We need more warriors. We need more leaders to be followers and followers to be leaders. We're all in this together. And I'd like to thank my best friend, Elliot McDavid. He taught me a lot. He showed me my voice. That's why I'm here, is to let everybody know that you are worth something. We are worth, our children are waiting for us to rise up even more. Yes. For them. So let's keep sharing. Let's keep doing. Let's keep getting out there. Go meet with your chief and councillors. Go meet with your MLAs. Keep writing. Keep calling. Get to them. Get on their nerves until we got this. I'd just like to thank you all, everybody everywhere here. Thank you for coming in. It really means a lot. So God bless you all, and we'll see you on the other side.
Thank you so much, everybody. Hey, does everybody want to say a quick prayer? I think it's important that we pray. I'm just going to say a quick prayer for everyone, okay? If you can all just bow your heads, and I just want to come to the Creator right now, God the Creator. I just want to pray peace right now. I want to pray peace into all of our hearts right now, Creator. I want to pray strength into all of our hearts right now. I want to pray that you give us the things we need to see along our journey. I want to pray that you give us the things we need to say along our journey. Give us the things we need to hear. And I ask that you just guide our every steps as we are walking through this hell that we find ourselves in right now, and that you brought us to be the light to walk next to our brothers and sisters, God. And I just pray strength where there needs to be strength right now, and that we just come together as one humanity, and that we unite the nations. Amen. Oh, Ron Clark's got something to say.
Hello everyone. Like they say, unity is the most hardest thing to do, but we're doing it here today. We have our brothers and sisters on the stage that we're fighting hard for, and they're fighting for us too. So many people have tried to stop this movement in every single way, but we are here today to prove them wrong that we can come together. All nations can come together in unity, and we will no longer back down. We will stand and rise together, but we have to do it as a team. We need to put our egos and differences aside for the greater of the children. That's what we're standing and fighting for. Look at the mama bears in here today. Touch your children and see what happens. Okay? All these brothers and sisters on the stage, I know a majority of them. I stood beside them. I fought with them. And we're all here together today. And we will stand together. That is the only way we're going to win. We do not let them divide us anymore. So, I love you guys, and God bless each and every one of you guys.
Hi guys, for those of you that know me, it's Kim Harvey. My given name is Peach Nicum. It's an honor to be home with my sister, my brother, my people. We have a lot of people that can't be today. We are missing some family members that should be standing here with us right now. But for unforeseen circumstances, he cannot be here. I'm missing my brother, Pat, and hopefully very soon he will be able to be standing here with us when he's supposed to be. I should be standing here with all of us now. We have some very special women that can't be here, and elder gentlemen because of their age and the time of year that many of you are very, very familiar with. It's time. I've been standing and fighting, and it's time that we all walk with peace. We are the leaders, and each and every one of you women here today, it's time that you have to stand like us. And you men are to be those warriors, to take care of those elders, us women, and the children, to make sure that the 7 generations and the 7 generations after that and the 7 generations after that will continue to be able to walk on Mother Earth. I love you, Pat. Grandma loves you. And it's time for you to come home.
Yes. I wanted to tell you guys one thing. I said on TikTok and on Facebook and everything that something powerful is coming. And I meant it. You guys don't understand my culture. We're deep rooted into a lot of traditions. We are. It was emotional for me to come up here because I had to look at the things of putting what I had to see on the line. You know? We're gonna have a ceremony tomorrow, or I don't know. We're still negotiating this time. I don't have that much time, nor do the truckers have that much time. I'm not gonna put anything up here until we actually talk about it, but I'm not gonna throw nothing out there. But I have my ceremony. And this ceremony is gonna pierce the hearts of many people. Your ancestors as well too. You guys don't understand how powerful this ceremony is. That it actually almost tore my people apart last night. She knows. They know how hard that symbol was for my people. But you guys also don't understand that that symbol itself, and I promise that, yeah. I wanted you guys, there you go, I can understand. So, I wanted you guys to also understand that that symbol was ours. Nobody's taking my tongue anymore. And I mean that, I'm not trying to, it's not a game. This is not a game because it hurt a lot of your guys' ancestors too. And for me to even bring that up, it's hard. Because how many people got hurt? I even hurt my own people when I told them this. We were almost separated here, even talking about it 2 weeks ago, a week and a half ago. But I had to stand the truth. I did my ceremonies 5.5, almost 6 years ago. And people keep on telling me, maybe you should change this, maybe you should change that, but I can't go back at the time to bring my elders back over there to what we had discussed 5.5 years ago. And that's what I had to tell my people as well too. Time we don't got. That's the most valuable resource that we have. You guys can have $1 million and it's gone right away, but you'll never get back something that you lost. That's the thing that you guys have to understand. When I look at what I asked my sisters and my nation, it was hard for you guys to come to the grips of trying to get unity last year. There was clans mothers, there was chiefs, there was people all the way down. You guys couldn't connect everything together. What it needed was protocol. What it needed was hugs. What it needed was you guys to come to the reservation and respect the woman first. What she said, the woman have to rise. In our culture, women were the elders for the men. The women were the ones that taught us how to be men. And that's why when we loved our woman, we knew what we were going to protect. That's why my nation, thousands of years stayed on this Turtle Island. And I know I don't want to bring back the past, but what destroyed us was the reservation system, the Indian Act. I don't blame you guys. I don't blame you guys. It's the colonialized system that is on you guys, that you guys have been living so long. For us, when they take away your kids, impose sexual abuse on your kids, women, you break that spirit. What I always told my Native American women all the time, I fought them against murder, missing women, not because I was against them, but I wanted to go to the underlying issues. The day they should have put red dresses on those girls was the day they were sexually abused. That's hard. Because you break something in a woman. That's why we have to respect our women. Those women are the real leaders that you guys don't know. We lead. Men lead with their egos a lot of damn times, and I know that because I got an ego. You all know that. But women are the ones that bring it back home. And what I want you guys to do is sometimes when you guys are walking and you think that you know all the bullshit in the world, look at your wife or look at your mother. Ask them. They'll tell you the truth. You might want to do this, do it righteously, but at the same time too, ask, because that's what kept our nation alive, was our clan mothers. That's probably the reason why we're still here today. 150 years is a fast. We almost destroyed the whole, you guys, not you guys, but I'm talking about the colonial system almost got us down. The only reason why I'm standing here is not only for you guys, but also because we're going to lose it all. That's the truth. But with that, I wanted to let you guys know, thank you guys for coming to listen to our First Nations here.
we also still have 4 gentlemen that are still incarcerated. And it's their 1-year anniversary, still sitting there fighting for each and every one of you.
Yes.
Let's not forget those gentlemen, please, and thank you. They have children, mothers, wives, waiting for them. They have a family, and we have a family, we're one.
How are you all? Well, here we are, right? And this is good versus evil, right? We got a choice to make. The fire is lit, right? And it's either you're gonna go along with the show, or you're gonna stand for your families and for the generations after you. And this is a pivotal time. I'm an Albertan. I'm 125 years deep. My family. And then another 300 years in the States here on Turtle Island. And I'm thankful for the bloodline that I have because we lived at peace with our brothers and sisters. Right? And the thing is that I grew up in Treaty 8 territory, up where it was originally started. When we moved up there, it was the native peoples that loved on us more because we were in a fractured home than it was the white people up there that would not accept. Now, I'm also a born-again Christian, right? I should have been dead a long time ago. I understand my life is not my own. I haven't done hard drugs in over 25 years by the grace of God. But like my sister here was talking about earlier, the nightmares that were brought to this land were beautiful, loving people, right? And these power brokers use them to give to them, just so they could do to us, do to them what they did to all our tribes, right? So the thing is that we need to stand our ground, we need to dig our heels in, and regardless of what goes on, if our blood is spilled, so be it. Sometimes that's needed for change. And these people know that. We lost that knowledge. We did. Right? Who knows that the crown bastardized the cross? Who knows that? They bastardized it. They really did. They used what was supposed to be for good. The Roman popery, the first 500 years of her, was more like Greek mythology. They killed the apostles. Did you know that? Right? So the thing is that for the Christians, for the people who are standing for what is right, you got to dig it in. And I know my brothers and my sisters are going to do it. Right? Regardless of what's going to happen. Right? The choices have been made. You're going to make a choice to stay on this rainbow road, this warrior road, or you're going to follow the show. And that's just the way that it is. Make your decision. God bless you and all your families. We all love you.
Thank you everybody for coming. The big thing is God put me on this mission to build something. I never knew something, but God always showed me something big is going to happen. And something very big is going to happen. And I never knew. This morning, it slowly came out what is happening. And that is what God used me for to build this. And where you guys all can witness what is happening here. And this is where everybody started with. Where we start uniting. Thank you. Thank you very much for the unity.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, big round of applause. Big round, let's go! It's time to unite the nations, ladies and gentlemen. It's time to unite the nations. And when you plant the seeds, they start to grow, and that's what we're doing here. We're planting seeds, and we're going to start growing them. Thank you so much. This is Candace, the lady who got run over by the horse, who anyone who doesn't know who she is. The Mohawk from the Mohawk Nation. on, you guys all want to hold hands in unity for a picture? Let's do it. Everybody in the room, let's all hold hands right now in unity. We are all one humanity, and we're going to walk this road together. And we're going till the very end. And we're never going to stop. God's army is on the march. And you better look out because we're coming. The army of light is on the move. And we're not going to stop. We're not going to stop. Till all the greed and all the lies come down, we're on the march. And we're going to victory to the very end with our hearts and with peace and with love.
Let's go!
God bless you all. Thank you so much. I'm going to be giving the floor over to Benita here after everybody hugs it out a little bit, and we'll get on. We love you. Love you too, brother. Love you too.
I'm gonna bring it down.
How you posted on What's that? Yeah. I haven't made a friend yet, but today's restaurant is you guys doing over there as well? Came up or yeah.
What up? What's going on? Not much. Just live on the internet.
What's up, everybody?
Malcolm.
What are you on? YouTube?
And Facebook.
Facebook?
My YouTube's and that's my Facebook.
It streams on both at the same time?
Yeah, I use like an app called Prism. Sometimes it's garbage because the connection can be like not great. Like yesterday, it aborted my YouTube live 4 times. So I don't know, because sometimes it'll tell you up in this corner that it's like transmission issues. So the signal's not great.
I don't want to buy one of these. Which one's it? What brand's that?
This is the DJI, it's the gimbal. I think it's like the Series 5. I bought it last summer, it was like $180 at that point. It might be like $200 now, but it's nice because it like stabilizes the video. So it's like,
I wanted to see.
yeah, they're dope. Because like, when the Great Canadian Cruise came to Saskatoon, 2 of the guys were walking around with one of these. And I was like, that's pretty dope. And it's like nice because it's like I can have it as like a tripod if I want and just like have it sitting. And then like this piece has like a selfie stick that I can go up so if I need to like be taller. Yeah, it's dope. And so I really like it. But yeah, so they had it and I was like, I want one of these. Hi, Lori. Hello, Lori. Yeah, man. Is there a different way to spell Malcolm?
Some people only put one L in there. Some people need to say mellow. Some people spell it with like welcome.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Orange eyelashes.
There's red and pink in here. Because my lash lady was like, can I try something on you? She's like, I want to try something new. I was like, yeah, sure, whatever. And so she's like, are you okay with being like having color in your lashes? I was like, yeah, that's fine. I've had purple before with glitter on them. And so she was like, okay, I want to do Valentine's Day ones. I was like, no, they're fake. Yeah, they're just like extension. So once they fall out, then the color will fall out. But yeah, so she was like, I just want to try. And I was like, that's fine. I don't mind. That's pretty dope. So I'm assuming.
I wish they would have like done a little bit different with the lights.
Yeah.
No allergies with the hair.
I know, because it gets real dark up there. Like sometimes with the white light, it's like very bright, and then like the darker colors, it's like
Yeah.
it like changes the
If,
vibe.
if they stay with white, or if it would just stay one color, and then just change the angle a little bit.
Yeah, yeah. Hello. Yeah, that'd be dope. Assuming we're all just hanging out now till 6.
I don't know what happens at 6.
Supper. Because it doesn't say that there's
All right,
anything else after
testing,
this.
testing,
Oh,
1,
maybe.
2, 3, testing, testing. Okay, guys, we're gonna make one more little announcement here. In accordance to what we just witnessed. Walter wants to give an offering in Native culture. We always give offerings. You know, if we're making a peace offering or something, and Walter wants to give an offering back, so he's going to present Adrian, my brother here, Adrian, and my sister, with a flag from Camp Hope. And this is the part of Walter's offering, reaching out his piece. Bringing people together one step at a time. Bringing the nation together, ladies and gentlemen. Bringing the nation together. And these are the things that need to happen. We need to break bread with our brothers and sisters from all walks of life to make unity truly happen. Hey! Awesome. Wow. What a powerful day. Very powerful. Okay, Benita, we're going to give you your stage back. All right.
Honestly, I was ready for a nap as soon as I opened my eyes. So I was like, maybe if there isn't a bunch of stuff going on from 1 till 6, I might go and just lay down for a bit. It's like you're going to
Sit
bed
here and
early.
contemplate that.
Really think about your choices. It's like always going to bed.
We
like,
have
super
a
late, waking up
symposium
early.
starting in a bit, but in the meantime, we have a young entertainer. Braden's going to entertain us starting in a few minutes. Gordon, come on up, lend us a hand if you would.
Where? We're outside.
Ugh. Are these warmer to sit on than those other benches? What feels warm over here? Yeah. Ugh, all the standing that I've done in the last 3 days. Man, my back is so sore. I'm not used to standing so much.
My feet are sore. These are the very supportive.
It's not the boots, it's the insoles. Are yours new AirPods? Oh. Fake off-branded. They look like AirPods.
Thank you. That is very awesome guy owner.
It is very loud. You're making TikToks? I see it.
I'm thinking this sound. This video's not quite long enough. I'll fix it.
I was gonna say, you can fix it. Well, the amount of time you take to like alter TikTok videos, like I made one when my parents left Saskatoon in the Convoy, and it took me, I swear it took me like a good couple hours to like pick the song that I wanted that worked good with the footage that I had, and then get this footage to look fine, and then all that kind of stuff, and then it was like, okay, then you'd stop to like eat, and then you'd go back at it. It was like, it took forever.
I try not to do it in TikTok unless like I'm gonna do multiple videos in a day. Then I try to do something in TikTok. The other stuff I'll do in CapCut. But TikTok likes it when you make videos on their platform.
Oh.
Like right now, because you can listen to everything I'm saying.
Right.
20 seconds.
So this was not the symposium? Their schedules they have on those things are like never accurate. Like yesterday it wasn't accurate either, so it's like you don't even exactly know what the plan is, because the agenda's not. Oh.
So we've got young Braden. He's just here for the musical break before we go on to the next section. Braden's just gonna perform for us a bit, and we'll be starting the symposium in a little bit. Guys, isn't it great? We're looking for Ian Cameron to come to the DJ booth. Ian Cameron.
my live stream is just staring at some facts till other things get going.
You don't see the live.
They're hanging out.
When I'm live stream on.
Oh, sure. A live stream off. Just on people's backs. We're both just gonna be live streaming someone's back.
Live stream.
Live stream, my live stream. I have one of those like privacy screen protectors, so if I turn it this way, you might not see it.
I can see it.
Yeah?
I might not be able to with my camera can.
Maybe it's not so private then, I don't know. This one's not great. I got it from Walmart. Okay, well guess like oh, it's not up to down, it's left to right that it does that. How many followers do you have on TikTok?
38,000.
Oh shit! I have like 3,000.
I'm shut for that.
Thank you very much,
Oh, I
Brayden.
can
That was
only
great,
imagine.
ladies and gentlemen. Give him a big round of applause. Thanks for entertaining us for the Brayden. Nice of you to come out. So we're going to be starting our symposium in a few minutes here. And
Beats me, man.
we're going to be starting in a few minutes. And the format of the symposium
She's all fired up.
is
All fire.
we have some presenters chosen, but it's not that they're just giving speeches. This is a panel
Like the best
discussion
spot to
that's
go.
going to take place. And if you would like to submit a question to the panelists,
live stream.
then you put it in writing and you bring it to me. I'm moderating.
Oh, so it's like a debate.
So figure out
We're
how to
having a
write that
debate.
out
We're debating.
and bring it to me. I'm moderating.
Can
So we're
I
going to have a
debate?
panel
God
discussion.
is the Alpha and the Omega and the one.
We'll be starting
There you
in
go.
just a little bit.
Ooh, that'd be a good debate.
Dun-dun.
The first topic is where do we go from here? Where are we going? And how do we get there? That's the first topic. So you're going to want to sit in on this panel discussion
Are you sure?
and hear
For 500.
what these wise people
I'll
have to
take
say.
get Trudeau out of our land for 1,000.
Ooh, I'll take create our own system parallel to their system for 16,000.
I'll take off-grid living for 150.
Jesus is king for 1 million.
1 million. Should play Jeopardy style.
Well, that's
They should
a
have
new
a
one.
board.
Blue truck plan. I've never heard that one. That's new. And a fake big red.
I think I've heard the blue
Hey, I've
truck
never ran
plan.
into the fake big red. Nice to meet you, fake big red. It's 1977.55 instead of 17.55.
Oh, okay, yeah.
A very common thing for fake people to steal other people's identities by changing one or two letters in the name itself. I mean, he's wearing pink. He's wearing pink heels. Hey, where you go? There. Oh, I thought that was that moderator show up.
No. Do you have mods in?
I think one, but he's not in here right now. I
Lame.
don't like modding. I usually don't, but
I love modding. It's fun.
we love walking and deleting people.
Yeah, I like just sitting there. Or just sitting there and like creeping and people don't know that you're there and you're just like, da-da.
Look, sad. They're so lonely. But I made new friends. Maybe you're the one that's lonely.
Yeah, user 555487974.
79417. I am but a number.
What a number.
How to say NPC in binary?
Oh my
1161. Oh wait, no. 110. 110. Oh dear, the computer thought I was
Oh
talking.
no!
Man, my computer.
It's like saying hi, like hey Siri, and then you know.
Apparently. Google phone is
Clearly, you're not supposed to
smart
say
for your
110 to your
Bud
phone.
Heavy, what's up? You gotta try to get them grips going. No 5G in here, actually. They obviously brought in and planted a 5G blocker in here.
Really?
I had 5G when I first got here, and then it was gone.
Oh, really? So your phone is one of the ones that runs on 5G network?
Yeah.
Mine's still old. I have an iPhone 11.
This is the newest Google technology there is. This is 7.
Oh.
Yeah. Smart as scary as listens to everything I say.
I can only imagine.
And I got the Google Chromecast, so it that's linked to my Gmail account.
Yeah, I have a Chromecast.
Google is connected all the way through.
Yeah.
So it knows what anyone emails me, what I search, everything. It knows everything about me. It's probably listening to my dogs right now.
Your dogs are speaking to Google in like Morse code.
Yeah. Who named the agenda? I don't know. I don't like Agenda 2030. I call it Agenda 21 because it's not just for 2030. It's for the entire 21st century. But I'm not going to be nitpicky about it. There is many
I have an
plans to
iPhone
get
8
to
Plus at home,
the
Junior. I just don't use it.
Thanks, Big Red, though. Are you the real Big Red?
Hey, Desiree. What rice machine that you have? Are you allowed to Okay. Can I come by later and possibly have you work that on me? My neck, I woke up with a kink in my neck. I've had it for a while, but I'm hoping maybe that would kind of help.
Absolutely. Hold on your thing. Turn around.
Woohoo! Because I jarred my neck a couple months ago. Yeah. Because it's like, yeah. I love neck rubs. First aid. There we go. We match. We're both wearing red.
Hello, beautiful people.
The people on YouTube and the one person I have on Facebook.
You're what?
I said to the people on YouTube and the one person that I have on Facebook.
Oh, that's okay.
Oh. Cause yeah, I jarred my neck like a while ago. Like I'm pretty sure. Because you know how like your muscles obviously have muscle memory. Because I was in a car accident before COVID, and it was in that area. And then I went to physio and all of that kind of stuff, chiro, massage. And then after my SGI had run out, it had seemed to kind of subside. And then I like got out of the shower and like somehow just pushed my skull and it like jarred it up again. And it's been bad ever since.
We can do like a muscle tension, some sort of protocol, yeah.
Okay.
And then I also have oils.
Nice. Okay, perfect.
Just let me know.
Of course. Thank you. I was gonna try and come see you like earlier, like after breakfast, but it looked like your like stuff was closed. So I'm like, maybe you're sleeping.
It's cold in there. No, I went for a shower.
Oh, okay.
I washed twice, so it's all been warm. Oh, I don't have to work for a couple days.
There you go. There you go. I know, man. Definitely need a shower right away.
Yeah.
My hair's just all like gross and greasy.
Yeah, I was like, okay, I gotta do that. Yeah. Yeah, come see me later.
Okay, sounds good.
If I have somebody on the right, I can go get you some oils. I got some deep blue, that kind of stuff we can pair us.
Okay, that's fine. I can always wait. It's no big deal.
Yeah, we'll see.
Perfect.
Okay.
Thank you. Are you still alive?
Yeah. I was up to 47, but I'm down to
You
30.
have 542 likes. I had 2.4 thousand views on my one live yesterday.
I've already, I gave someone a lesson in what freedoms they lost, and I muted them for the entire live. Lesson in free speech. You ain't got none.
A lesson
And then
in
the other
free
one's
speech,
like,
I'll take
can
your
I
free
have
speech.
5 things that you don't have anymore? And I said, can you explain to me what freedom is? No answer.
No answer.
Someone wrote freedom wrong, used a Q in there.
Yep.
The
That happened
first
on my
panel
live
discussion
yesterday.
will be starting in 5 minutes or so.
This one
This is
says,
on the general
freedom is
topic
what you're doing right now.
of going forward. Where are we going, and
I don't
exactly
I was
how
watching
do
a
we
video
get
on
there?
TikTok that was talking about like the facial
Where are we
recognition and the
going, and
thumbprint
how
scanner.
do
They
we
can
get
actually
there?
use that
The
without
first
your
panel
consent
discussion
if you ever have your
will
phone
be
seized by
starting
the cops. They
in
can
5
just put your
minutes or
finger on
less.
it. I don't know if that's fully true, but at the same time, you know, I'm not going to give them any anything that they can use against me. So my phone, I took my facial recognition off.
And we
I
have a
took my
wonderful
thumbprint scanner off,
helper named Zoe
and I
who's
just
going to run
used
sound for
my
this. Say hi, Zoe.
my password. Oh, here we go, another back.
Zoe's running sound.
Don't you need 24,000?
Our lives today should just be called Freedom Back. It's all just people's back.
Freedom backs.
Freedom Back.
This one's got to get shirts with more stuff written on the back.
Yeah, Freedom Backs.
Rooster! This is a fake rooster. Nice glasses on the dog though. Hater, hater, hater. Amanda, she's deadly.
Deadly. Hi, Amanda.
We the friend circle. What's your TikTok? You know
My TikTok? Yeah, I do.
Yeah? What's your TikTok?
My TikTok is KEL17SEEY.
Yeah. You know who her dad is? He's a legend. Jake the Snake.
Jake the Snake. I don't even know where
But
he
he's
is.
actually a gray fox. Everyone calls him gray fox. but-
Silver Fox.
That's what he said.
You said gray.
But earlier in my head I said silver.
Your head said silver, your mouth said gray. Oh man. There's a puppy.
She's on streaming. She's streaming on YouTube and Facebook at the same time.
Yeah. I don't.
would.
I have the ability to stream on TikTok. I just don't because you can't. I don't think you can save your live streams. Can you?
Yeah.
You can?
Yeah. For 60 days.
Oh.
Corey says not an intelligent thought said yet. And you know what's the most ridiculous thing is? He's still here.
Yeah, literally.
Like he thinks I came here to entertain him.
They're entertaining us. We're at an intermission.
This is just a straight up live stream.
Woo! Oh
Freedom for the balloon!
no! That air is now free.
That is one free balloon right there. You guys want a lesson in freedom? That's what it looks like.
A yellow popped balloon.
What's more free?
Yeah, I used to have all my fingerprint stuff, and now I don't anymore. Then the only way you're gonna get into my phone is if you figure out the passcode, and that nobody even knows it.
Canadian mega. Let's make Canada great again.
Maca.
If this was me, I'd have solved the whole entire World War III in the morning coffee. That's pretty bad Trump interpretation. It's more like, they don't want to know. I like Trump.
You have 2,000 likes already. Dang, man, you won't even like for, I don't even know how long.
Yeah, someone's being nice. Oh, look at that. Beautiful sent me a card too.
What does that do?
It's money.
Oh.
Currency.
So how do you cash that in and actually like?
I usually just convert it back to more coins so I can give coins away or whatever, gifts away to people.
Oh. So then, but if you wanted to actually like,
Thanks, Amanda.
if you wanted to actually like cash in that currency, how would you have to do
You
that?
gotta go through PayPal.
Oh, gross.
Luckily, I've had a PayPal since I was like 12.
I was going to use PayPal because like PayPal you need in order to buy stuff on Etsy.
I did graduate high school, and then I went to college, and I graduated college. Then I went to university, and I dropped out, and then I went and got a red seal in electrical.
Why does it sound like I haven't gone to high school?
No, that's just their go-to kind of thing. Like, no, look at all these uneducated rednecks. They think racism is real.
Someone dropped their head down. They think
Like I
racism.
snuck that one.
Yep, I hear you.
It's a sad day.
Sad day. And the headband.
I'm guessing you didn't take science. Actually, I know lots about science, including this. You guys should follow the science and see where mRNA will lead you in 5 years.
5 years.
It'll be fun.
Fun.
Enjoy.
It'll be fun, they said.
It'll be fun, they said.
There's Dad.
There he is. Take the snake. Take the snake.
Take the snake. Take the snake.
What was the yes or no question?
I find it takes like longer to use. I always liked iOS. I had a Samsung for a bit, but I don't know. Oh no, I just prefer iPhone, and all of my stuff's Apple, which I know. I know about the Apple, but I personally just like it better.
Much more evil than science. Well, actually, I wonder what's more evil. What do you think's more evil, business or science?
Well, I would say business.
Business.
I mean, granted, they claim things to be scientific, even though it might not be.
Business is in control of science, anyways.
Exactly. It's like BlackRock being in control of everything. You might be a small business, but you technically aren't a small business. Because all the small businesses are bought by the banks, and all the banks are owned by BlackRock.
He thinks that the shot turned invisible. He's mixing up the conspiracy theories. Come on.
Is he now a lizard person?
How are you going to keep up this truth?
Oh man, literally. They're blurring together. It's one big blur. One big blur.
Just like this one big experiment. It's only going to take 2 weeks, guys. Don't worry.
2 weeks to flatten the curve.
2 weeks to save your grandma.
Yeah. 2 shots to, what? Herd immunity? Wasn't that what it was? Something like that?
Herd immunity's not enough. They have to have everybody vaccinated.
Well, it started
out how
off
that
being
makes sense.
60%, then I think it was 70, then 75, and then they're like, if we could get to 80, it's like, okay, yeah. And then they're like, we've reached 80%.
Turned me into a $10 million prime minister to a $400 million prime minister.
Yeah,
Thank you
literally.
very much for supporting my company.
Supporting my cause.
Decline.
What happened?
Someone's trying to get in the live with me.
Oh, they can request to be in your lives?
Yeah, she did it again.
Ice, spice,
She's
ice,
only got
ice.
1 follower. Ice, spicy. Real talk. Where is Owen and George? They were just on stage.
They're just hanging out.
They do still have to go launch a flag at Parliament at some point, but the talking part of it.
Go
is
to
all
Russia?
fun. Go to Russia?
Why?
Actually, I put my name in to go and win a trip to Israel, so
Hey!
I think God's actually going to send me there. I kind of always had this feeling that he wanted me to go there.
My mom's been there.
And then, yeah, yesterday the guy's going around taking email addresses, asking anybody,
Ooh.
some random old guy. And he's like, how about going to Israel? And I said, okay.
Let's go, bud.
And then
Let's
he's like,
go.
write your email down here. And then, so I put my email down, and your phone number. So I put my phone number down. And then they called me back, and now I'm going to Israel.
Sick. I don't know if I know who Dave McKenzie is. Do you know who Dave McKenzie is? Someone asked where he is. I
Dave
don't know.
McKenzie, that's like that old show, McKenzie Brothers. They like sit in the couch next to each other and shoot the shit.
So
drink
that's
beer.
us?
Yeah,
Minus
me
the
and
beer?
you are basically the McKenzie Brothers right here. Totally.
I identify as a brother.
You mind Palestine? I don't know. One of those ones.
That's funny. Free Palestine.
Apparently that's where like the next big push is gonna go.
Where?
Israel, Palestine.
Oh, yeah.
Line up with the prophecies.
Yep. Apparently they have all the
Meaning
things
of
they
the
need
mind
to
list.
read.
That's a good one.
Oh, I like that.
See, the thing is the
Should get
world's
that put
upside
as a
down,
sweater.
and she put the guy upside down.
What are you just thinking
Freedom
off
for
the cuff?
Ukraine. I'm Ukrainian, and I'm telling you, they are evil motherfuckers.
One of the guys says, wasn't it Bob and Doug McKenzie?
Bob and Doug McKenzie. Yeah.
So are you Bob or am I Bob?
I'm Doug.
Okay, I'll be
Because my dad's Doug.
Okay, fine. No, I'll be Bob.
Hey, I'm Doug.
We're not even sitting on a couch. We're sitting on like a bench.
There's literally 63 people watching me pointed at an empty.
I have 27 people.
I mean, this is better than everyone's back.
We have 100 people between the two of us just hanging out watching them.
Bob and Doug McKenzie here.
Bob and Doug McKenzie.
Live
D&DM.
streaming at the stage. Oh.
What if I
You're
wanted
getting
to be
my
the
shot.
center?
Never mind, I can't reach center.
Freedom backs again. All my life has been staring at for the last 15 minutes is people's backs. Whoop, whoop.
Oh.
I toss and turn, I keep stressing my mind.
I have a vet asking me, why are you asking for freedom? We veterans already fought and died.
I don't think I have those. I don't know if I know what that is.
Ah. I wonder if he's a real veteran. We're just one of those guys that kind of goes around saying he's a veteran.
Right. Who applied for the military, got denied, but says he's a veteran.
Yeah. Like, pretty good, funny stuff too.
Share the
My
live.
dad-
Yeah, share the live.
Share the live.
Share the live.
That's right, Bud Heavy. Troll.
Oh, I thought
Why
you
are
said
trolling,
Butt Heavy.
Marty? No, Bud Heavy.
Oh.
AKA. Oh my goodness. I don't know. I always forget his name.
You're right. There is so many Daves in Canada.
Show us around. No, I'm winning here. Winning.
It's because he's also on TikTok. YouTube is
fired up.
censored. If
You
we were on
think
my
I'm
live,
not censored on TikTok? You got another thing coming.
yours is only just starting to drop down.
I'm surprised I
Aw,
haven't
so many
lost.
nice clowns.
Oh yeah, pretty clowns. Last year they called me clown so much that I found a picture of me at Halloween dressed up as a clown and stitched it into my videos. Yeah, you can call me whatever you want, Bud.
Bud, sticks and stones may break my bones,
What does they say?
but words will never
They're gonna
hurt
hate
me.
you because they hated me first. So
Yep,
be proud of that.
yep.
That's rewritten.
You will
by
be
novel.
hated in my name. Bow wow.
Yeah. More people at church here this morning.
Oh
than in
yeah,
my
he is
hometown.
here. Oh yeah, okay, yeah. David McKenzie's here somewhere. I saw him
Like
yesterday.
really here?
Like the guy from the what is it? Canadian Trucker magazine. It's like this Facebook group or whatever. Kids in the hall. Maybe I have seen it. I'm not sure if I've seen it. Honestly, I'm
Ladies
not
and
sure.
gentlemen, my name is Benita Peterson from All Fired Up for Freedom.com. It's a pleasure to serve as your MC this weekend, and of course, fulfill my other responsibilities. How are you guys all enjoying the weekend so far? How are you liking it? I hope that so far you have found that coming to this area of Manitoba has been fulfilling for you and useful.
All
It's my
fired up.
hope that you leave this weekend with new knowledge as well as
What do you think? You think you're
inspired.
flattered?
So who so far this weekend
I'm
has
leaning more
accumulated
towards
some new knowledge of any sort? Round of applause.
Someone
Yes?
asked if it's a flat earth convention. I'm like,
And who also
one.
so far
Oh, I just got a guy
is
named
feeling
Doug that told us.
inspired and hopeful about the future? Yes? Especially after that last ceremony that we just witnessed with the First Nations people and other cultures coming together. So much symbolism of unity right there. I was in the corner running sound, and I gotta tell you, it got me right here in my heart. Who else also had emotions during that ceremony? Yes?
A lesson in free speech.
We're going to start the symposium in a few minutes, and I know that you really want to engage with one another. I encourage you to continue those engagements outside if you don't mind, because I know for sure that people at the front are going to want to be able to hear all the panelists on this symposium. And the folks at the back, if you're okay with stepping out to have your conversation, or bring your conversation down to a whisper, that would be super. That would be absolutely super. And if there's somebody who wants to take upon themselves helping people become quieter, here, I'll show you my technique in case you want to do this. So this is what you do. You smile, you make eye contact, and then you go. But you smile the whole time.
That's hard
You
to
gotta
do.
smile the whole time, because I learned the wrong way. If you don't smile, it's not as pleasant of an interaction. So sorry about that. Okay, so again, if there's someone you're having trouble hearing what's going on up here, if there's someone nearby, say shh, shh, or kind of gesture them to go outside. That would be super.
Gesture them to go.
So why are we having a symposium. Why? What's a symposium?
I don't know.
Can you explain it to me?
A symposium in this case
I'm in.
is a discussion of ideas. The theme of this whole event is unity. And we've learned that we can come together on certain things. Unity does not mean we have to agree on all things. It just means we have to agree on at least one thing. And this weekend, we have actually already achieved some unity. Do you agree with that? Yes. For example, we gathered outside for a photo yesterday with a giant banner that said Reject Agenda 2030. And if you were standing outside with that banner, what that says to me is you agree with that message. How many of you agree with that message? Reject Agenda 2030! All of those sustainable development goals, all 17 of them, this is my opinion of them. I want to kick them all out the window with my steel-toed boots.
Yeah.
That's what I want to do. And I want that concept of artificial intelligence as our constant surveillance. I want to kick that out the window
You're right,
too.
Rob.
Gone. Can we unite on that? Let's get rid of the sustainable development goals. It appears that all of these elected representatives at every level of government, municipal, provincial, federal, have been influenced inappropriately by foreign entities. And they've been making laws and policies that seem to be supporting Agenda 2030. Now, I like to think that inside every elected representative that there's a good person in there somewhere. I do not automatically assume they're bad. I assume that there's a good person in there that just wants to do good work. And what I've noticed is some of them are being misguided. So municipal councillors, for example, are often guided by the province. So whoever's in these positions, not just elected representatives, folks, it's administration that we have to hold accountable. So there's so much going on, there's so many layers, and so as we organize to push back against what we don't want, and to get more of what we do want, the ways we're going to come to unity and work together is through discussion of ideas. Discussion of ideas, and then we move forward with the best ones. So what I've done for the first part of this symposium is I have recruited two thinkers to come up and have a discussion with me. And the theme is going forward. What do we do next? What are the next steps? Where are we going, and how do we get there? So will you please welcome our panelists, Donald Lee and Ian Cameron. Give them a warm welcome.
There you go, bud. You're on. Have fun.
Donald Lee and Ian Cameron are our panelists today.
Hello, everybody. God bless you.
I'd like to see a Satanist up against the Christian.
Now,
That would be a good debate.
before we start here, again, how many people in the audience have thus far found value in this event? Who has found value so far? Yes. I am so glad that you're finding value in this event, and I think you're going to find value in the coming presentations as well. There are a number of expenses associated with putting together this event. Everything from renting those units out there to clearing snow, etc. If it's on your heart to give, and give generously, there is a donation box at the door near that speaker by the main entry door. How many of you are willing to give? Who's willing to give? Please help support this event. Thank you so much. Please give generously. And by the way, my services are free. I bring in the sound system, I drive from Edmonton, I pay for a hotel, and I don't charge this event anything. And I'm just doing this for free because I feel this work has to be done. Let's hear it for all the volunteers who have been giving of themselves for free. So thank you. The donation box is at the main door there.
Self-sustainability.
So let's get started.
Sounds real good.
We have a couple of panelists up here, and the topic is going forward. Where do we go and how we get there? And so we'll give each panelist 5 minutes for opening statements, and then we'll bring it to the question and answer section. If you have a question you'd like to see these panelists answer, go see my helper in the corner, Zoe, and have that question written down, and we'll see if we can get to it. We'll do what we can. So let's get started. We'll start with you, Mr. Ian Cameron.
Good morning.
Good morning, good afternoon.
Yes, you too. Good afternoon.
Where do we need to go and how do we get there?
Okay, so I get my little intro. For those of you who heard me speak yesterday, I talked about 5 key things. And I'm going to just review those quickly, and then at the symposium, I'm hoping we're going to drill down a little bit deeper on 3 out of the 5 would be ideal. The first one was trust. One of the challenges with us moving forward and getting anything done is we don't trust. And that's not by accident, in case you thought it was. Over the last 3 years, one of the biggest casualties is our ability to trust government, police, healthcare, each other. And that mistrust makes it extremely difficult for us to get pointed in one direction and agree on many things, let alone one thing. The second thing that I wanted to talk about, I did talk about yesterday, was building. Okay, we spend a lot of time tearing each other down, and we spend a lot of time analyzing and resisting. What I want us to focus on going forward is creative energies, building each other up, building our communities, building our neighborhoods, building our structures so that we can build something significant. That's a go forward thinking plan. The third thing I talked about was the structure to do that. Everybody who knows me knows I'm a huge fan of self-sufficient communities, small groups working together to cover each other. That is critical, and it becomes the foundation of moving forward. But it goes bigger than that. From your self-sufficient communities, you build trade networks. From your trade networks, you build regions. From your regions, you build nations. From your nation, you have a globe. And I am very privileged to be part of a global network of freedom fighters who all think the same way and want the same thing. But we need that structure in place. It can't be flat. It has to have some depth to it, or we'll never get anywhere. We'll collapse under the weight of our own existence. Okay? Governance was the other thing I talked about, and that's one of the ones I want to drill into today. And governance is how we make decisions going forward. We can't make every decision at every level. We have to make the decision at the level it's needed. Food security has to be solved for the people locally, right? Other problems have to be solved at a much higher or different level. That's just the nature of how decisions are made. And I want to talk about, and I'm hoping for some lively discussion, because I have some ideas, but when you get this many brilliant people in a room, there's bound to be some fantastic ideas about how can we put a decision-making structure in place for the freedom movement, not for a group or 2 groups, for all of us, when we have 1,000 freedom groups connected.
Hey, all you guys at the back. Hey, at the back. You know what you're doing? You're talking when you're supposed to be listening. I'm a school teacher. I can tell what's going on. So guys, we're having a little discussion here about what you should be doing tomorrow when you get home. So if you don't want to listen, please go chat outside in the freezing cold. But if you want to be in here where it's warm, please listen to these brilliant people. Ian has some wonderful things to say, and there's people in the front that can't even hear him because there's so much noise. Thank you so much for your respect.
Thank you. Yeah, actually, I'm almost at the last point, and we do appreciate you guys. I know, you know what, and I hear you. When we get together, having like-minded people to chat with and network with is powerful. It's so powerful. And so I don't begrudge you guys chatting with each other, but my colleague is correct here. Let's have some silence in the room so that the people who want to hear it can hear it clearly, and I don't have to scream at you to get my message across. That would be wonderful. The last thing on my list, though, before I turn it over, was resources. Okay, we do not have billions of dollars to throw at the problem. Our enemy does. And they throw it around. In fact, Trudeau loves to throw our money around even more than ever. Okay, but what we do have is something they can never have, and that is willpower and people. So we have volunteers, and I will put one volunteer against 20 paid puppets every day of the week and come out ahead. So we have to manage our resources, people, and willpower better. So that comes into the whole governance and structure, all that kind of stuff. But when we can do that, going forward, we're not a freedom group or 10 freedom groups. We are 100,000 freedom groups globally, representing somewhere on the order of 1.5 billion people. Yeah, when you start to put that in perspective, you're like, holy crap, that's a powerhouse. Okay, and yeah, we do need a little bit of money on the way, as Benita said. These things aren't free. But mostly, we need to coordinate the resources we have. Play to our strengths, not theirs. That's it. That's when we're going to start. There's some discussions I want to have about structure, governance, resources. Love to hear some ideas, because we are just getting started. And folks, I know you were reaching out. I had my card. But I do want to ask Kai if you could just stand up. Sorry, Kai, I'm going to put you right on the spot. Kai is from Alberta. Woo! And he does our outreach in Alberta. So if you're a freedom fighter in Alberta, you go, are there any communities in the Alberta? That's your guy. Okay? I'm from Saskatchewan, and Des, who's here, is our Saskatchewan and Manitoba outreach. But there's your Alberta outreach right there. So I'm not just a guy standing up here saying things. We've been working on this as a team, and some great people are putting their heads together. Thank you.
Thank you, Ian Cameron. Great opening statement. And now we'll hear from Donald Lee.
Thanks, Benita. And thank you so much, Ian. You know, I listened to you yesterday, and I was impressed by your great presentation and your well thought out ideas. And once again, thank you very much. So, good afternoon again, everybody. Some of you heard me speak on Friday a little bit about some thoughts about the nature of spiritual warfare. And then yesterday I shared some thoughts about the nature of the physical warfare that we're involved in. And I think we can, I agree, first of all, with everything Ian said. Beautiful. Let me come at it from just a slightly different perspective. So all of us are involved in the spiritual warfare. And a spiritual war is always fought within. It is an interior battle. It is the battle of good versus evil within our own hearts. We can understand this, I think, best by the battle between fear and love within our own hearts. And whenever someone is trying to make you fearful, they're trying to control you. Have we not seen our governments use fear against us in the past several years? And if we respond not with fear, but with love, then we can overcome the fear, not only in ourselves, but our consciousness of love that we share with all those with whom we come in contact will help to dispel the fear in their hearts as well. So this is the basic level of spiritual warfare, that we need to inculcate love within our own hearts and to share that love with everyone. This is our challenge. Now, but we also are experiencing warfare on a material level. And I spoke yesterday a little bit about the nature of fourth generation warfare and the nature of fifth generation warfare. So we need to be, to push back against every fifth generation warfare assault that comes against us. Now, you need to pick and choose, because each one of us cannot do everything. So some of you are really interested and happy to prepare like food, because siege warfare is being used against us. They're trying to collapse the whole global food production and distribution system. So some of you are very happy in the prepping movement and growing gardens and preserving food and teaching other people how to do that, because you know, when I grew up, almost everybody grew a vegetable garden, and nowadays very few people grow a vegetable garden. So these are, you know, simple skills that we can share with other people who don't know how to grow vegetables. So if that's something you love to do, then do that. We also need to push back against the lawfare that is used against us and be involved in some of the legal challenges and that sort of thing, either actively involved with your time and effort or by donating money to either lawyers who are fighting or the Justice Center for Constitutional Freedoms that's been very involved in standing up for us, things like that. So each of these different types of assaults in fifth generation warfare, we need at least some people to be involved in pushing back against that. But also, in fourth generation insurgency warfare, it is ultimately a battle for the hearts and minds of people everywhere. And so all of us can reach out to our family members, our neighbors, and our friends, because all of us have family members, neighbors, and friends who think we're crazy, who don't agree with us. And some of those people are still open-minded enough to at least hear what we have to say. And those are the people that we need to talk to them. They'll listen to you, their friend that they know, whereas they would that they don't know. Right? So you need to gradually get them listening to you, who they know, rather than listening to the television, which they at least formerly have trusted and treated like a god. Isn't that what's happened? We've turned our televisions into our gods. That's how secular our society has become. So, those things. First of all, it's a spiritual war. Our battle is against fear within ourselves, and we do that by bringing forth our love. Secondly, choose which area of fifth generation warfare you want to be involved in pushing back against. And lastly, in terms of the insurgency war, which is fundamentally a battle for the hearts and minds of all people, reach out to people you know and try to convince them that things are not right. Something is rotten in the state of Denmark, as Shakespeare put into the words of Hamlet's mouth. Thank you very much.
His opening remarks, ladies and gentlemen. I can see that this is going to be a very rich panel discussion. So a few moments ago, we heard Ian speak about trust being key and how instead of tearing each other down, we need to build one another up. We've also heard Donald speak about love and about building the love. We're in a spiritual war, fear versus love. So let's dig a little deeper into that topic, gentlemen. And so this is a two-part question, and it has to do with conflict and rebuilding relationships. We've suffered a lot of disappointments. People have let us down. Sometimes it's people inside the freedom movement, the people that you thought were your freedom family, but they let you down in some way. How many have actually had that happen? Someone in the freedom family let you down. How many of you are still mad at them? Oh, just me? Oh. Okay, so the problem I find is that we are in a very serious war, and our enemy is powerful. And if we fight with each other, we lose. And so these conflicts that we have with one another, although this is normal and natural, we need to rise above that quickly. We need to have some form of conflict resolution or some way to transcend that. So that's the first part of the question, is when someone in your freedom family has let you down and we need to still work together and move forward. What are some specifics in doing that? The second part of the question is we look at our loved ones, and how many have loved ones they haven't talked to in 2 years, 3 years, because you stand for freedom. How many have that? Okay? How many have broken relationships, fractures? Okay? You haven't talked to them, they won't take your call, you don't even want to call them. They wouldn't let you in at Christmas, you're still mad. Okay? So we have that fracturing there too in the relationships with the people we used to have a positive relationship with, but now we don't. But there's still a part of us hungry to have it. And I'm not just talking about your emotions either, you being hungry to reconnect with your loved one. I'm actually also talking about necessity. It's actually necessary and essential that you reconnect with those loved ones. Because based on the numbers I've seen, although we are many in the freedom movement, I'm feeling like, we're not quite enough to win yet. We need more. And so it's necessary that you draw those loved ones into the freedom movement. But I can tell you this, you're not going to win them over by arguing with them. You argue, they put the wall up, there goes the wall. There's another way to pull them in, and it is with love. So that's a two-part question, gentlemen. So however you choose to address that, when someone in the freedom movement lets us down or someone from our background lets us down, can you give us some specifics on how to rebuild? Can you guys be quiet again? Either whisper, like whisper, or take the conversation outside. There's a lot of people here that find value in what's going on at the stage, and they're intending to donate some money to this event because they find value on what's going on the stage. In other words, they want to hear what's going on. And so if you could demonstrate consideration for these folks and take your conversation outside. I know some of you think that we can't hear you because you're at the back of the room, but the way this room is your voices are carrying and you are disturbing people. So Big Bear, I'm gonna assign Big Bear the job of hustle some people outside and or do that thing I do. Smile, eye contact. Okay, so let's try that again, thank you.
Yeah, Big Bear, you are the hallway monitor. Keep the children quiet. This class is in session.
Yeah, the war cry won't be necessary at this time. Big Bear, just use your body language.
I'm going to take the first crack at this. So I'm going to start with the first part of that question on conflict resolution. All right, and I'm highly trained in conflict resolution, but I am not an expert. I have to go back for remedial training all the time. That's just how that works because I have a very strong personality and I tend to overpower those around me. So one of the things that happens in conflict resolution is people don't speak the same language, okay? And so what I think you're hearing, you're not hearing, all right? And so your words don't land the way that you think they do. And it's been, unfortunately, a problem of mine or a personal challenge of mine, we'll say, my entire life, is that I'll say something and my wife, who's absolutely wonderful at picking up on language, will go, that didn't land the way you think it did. And I'm like, oh shit. And I have to retract it and come back at it another way. All right, but the essential goals of conflict resolution are to try and find common ground. All right, stick to the facts. Don't be getting it all clouded up with emotion, and look for that thing that brings you together so that you can rally around it. And I'm going to use one sentence that'll sum up the way you start this, okay? That which unites us is far more powerful than anything that divides us. And that is the basis of common ground for every conflict that we're going to have, all right? The other part of conflict resolution is to do it one-on-one if you can. So I've been a manager for many, many years. I praise publicly, I scold privately, okay? You will not find me on Facebook typically calling out other people. In fact, on my way here, there were some people putting graffiti on our posters and calling me names, etc. I immediately messaged them privately and said, let's chat. So you take that out of the limelight, you have that one-on-one conversation, find the common ground, stick to the facts, and you would be amazed how far you can go. Why? Because most people, 99.9% of people are good people. Truly evil people are actually quite rare. Most of us just have a misunderstanding of what somebody else is trying to say. And we get our egos in the way, and it doesn't land the way we think it should, and we get our back up, right? But if you can stop for a second, take a breath, listen to the facts, have a wonderful wife that helps you translate it into proper words, you can actually get quite a bit done. So that's conflict resolution, number one.
No wonder I haven't conflict.
Beautiful. Thank you. Round of applause. Thank you, Ian. That was beautiful. You know, when you said sometimes the words we say don't land the way we think they're going to land, well, I don't know about the rest of you guys, but I thought about all of the stupid things I said as a teenager trying to pick up chicks. All those cool lines that worked in the movies, they didn't work for me. The girls didn't have the script, you know. Yeah, take a hike, jerk. That's the kind of response I got. So yeah, I had lots of things that never landed right. Okay, but conflict. So, you know what? This war that we're in has torn apart every family, every community, and every nation. This is not an accident. It's not a mistake. It is not an unintended consequence. This is exactly what is intended. So, if you are, and all of us have to some extent or another, if you have fallen into, been sucked into this division in your family, understand that this is an attack against your family. And it's not, like the other members of your family are not the enemy. One of the little mantra that I repeat throughout my book is, in this spiritual war, our strategy is love, our tactic is forgiveness, our weapon is nonviolent, non-cooperation. Forgiveness is something that is essential within your family. Only forgiveness brings healing. The divisions in all of our families need healing. And we need to forgive each other. But as Ian pointed out, it's never quite that simple. There is a process. And you know, it's a great idea to seek out people who do have skills in conflict resolution. I don't. But there are people who do have those skills. It's great, seek them out. Of course, the various parties in the conflict need to all or both be willing, you know, to reconcile. And in order for there to be healing and a reconciliation, there needs to be an acknowledgement that one or both of us, you know, have done something to injure the relationship. And usually it's both, right? Like they say, it takes two to tango. So, yeah, you're better with advice about healing than me. But forgiveness is the key. And I will say one thing. It could come up in the next session, but I'll bring it up now. So I do talk about it too in my book, because most people don't really understand forgiveness. We often think that forgiveness is a gift that we give to someone else. But really, forgiveness is a gift we give to ourselves. Right? All of these people who have committed mass murder and all sorts of other crimes, I forgive them. Not because they're innocent. Then forgiveness is a very different thing from amnesty. You heard that a few months ago, right? Oh, let's just have amnesty, right? No, that's a legal term. Amnesty is the legal authority saying, we're not going to bring charges against you for your crimes. That's something completely different. No, there are consequences for crimes, and people who have committed crimes need to face those consequences. But I'm going to forgive all of them, because I don't want to be tied up in anger and hatred for the rest of my life. I want to live in a consciousness of love and peace and joy and happiness, and I can't be in that consciousness if I'm tied up with hatred and anger and blame. So I forgive them. That's a gift that I give to myself. And we need to begin with that in our relationships. Forgive your spouses, your parents, your children, your grandchildren, your nieces and nephews and aunts and uncles and cousins. Forgive them, and then you will be free. But then also begin the process of reconciling and healing your relationships with them, so that you can bring unity back to our families. That family, as we know, is the basic structure of society, and we cannot have strong communities and a strong nation unless we have strong families, and that's precisely why the family itself is targeted.
Thank you, Donald. Let's dig a little deeper on that, because I'm just sensing a need here. How many of you have someone you haven't talked to in at least 3 months again? Okay? How many of you, there's something inside you you'd like to reconnect? Okay, how many of you think you have that courage to do what some of these gentlemen are suggesting? You're on the path to forgiveness. Okay, I ask you right now to pull out your cell phone and send a text to one of those people you haven't talked to in 3 months. And all the text says is this: hey, I'm thinking of you today. I'm thinking of you. Just send out that text. Okay, someone you haven't talked to in 3 months that you're hungry for a relationship for. Now, I'm well aware that there's emotions inside you, and sometimes you're hurting, but you're here. That tells me you're strong as well. So what'll happen is we'll have these emotions about things, but we can't allow the hurt to drag us down. We somehow just carry forward. We're strong. Sometimes we push the hurt aside. We won't even feel it all the way because it hurts too much if we actually went there. I know, because I'm going through that. So when you send this message here right now, you send a text and it says, thinking of you today. Don't be too attached to the result. Don't be too attached to the outcome. They might message you back, they might not. Don't be too attached. You got to carry on no matter what that response. But you at least try, you at least initiate, you at least reach out, and then maybe a week from now you reach out again. And you just try. And all you're doing is you're potentially opening that door to that discussion, that resolution maybe, that forgiveness, at least a talk. When you have a conversation with them, it might not be, oh, I'm at a freedom event. That might set them off. He talked about common ground. It might be you got to talk about some shared experience you had in the past, or gardening, or a hobby, or whatever. If they answer you back after you say, I'm thinking of you, that's opening a door. Now, that doesn't mean I want you texting during this whole symposium, just for part of it. Now, also a word about words. So there's a hunger inside me to grow the freedom movement, to take this freedom family that we have and make it bigger. How many believe we need to do that? Yes? Oh yeah. Okay, well, here's something I've learned about the folks that are not yet like-minded. Okay, they're influenced by certain medias. Okay, they scare easily, and they're intimidated easily, as demonstrated by how some of them are still wearing their masks and they went and got a bunch of injections. So now that we know that about their psychology, that affects how we connect with them so we can bring them over. So if you were dealing with an animal that you knew scares easily, would you stomp right up to that animal and try to pet it right away? No. You might say, here, come on, kitty, kitty. Okay? You draw them in if they scare easily. We also know that they watch certain medias. So those medias have a certain way of presenting things. We also know that some of them are easily offended. And apparently some of the flags we've got around here, they find offensive. Now, I can appreciate freedom of speech, and I get it, and I support your right to freedom of speech. However, what I'd like to suggest is words matter. And if we choose our words more carefully, rather than just freely expressing ourselves, we may have a better chance of winning over more allies. Okay? There are some people who they are offended by swear words. Swear words offend them for whatever reason. There's other people who think swear words are just fine. I'd like to suggest that if you want to grow the freedom movement, exercise that self-control. Stop swearing. Just stopping swearing is going to draw more people in and less people will reject you. Stop swearing. Words matter. Love them into the truth. When we come at them too hard, sometimes they put that wall up. So have that attitude of love and you invite them over. But first you have to find that common ground. So gentlemen, this is the quick section in 1 minute or less. What is one specific thing people can do to connect with another person? 1 minute or less. We'll start with Donald this time. Ian's up there.
You're gonna have to go first at least once. Or when you're reaching out to people, and I have very few people who started out as pro-vax, we'll call them, and have not seen the light. Very few of those people who are still pro don't talk to me anymore. Unfortunately, my outreach wasn't so good. I've offended a lot of them. But the ones who have stuck around, who haven't blocked me yet or anything else, when we have a conversation, I do exactly that. I ask them how they're doing. Okay, I don't start with, hey, I'm at an event in Winnipeg, it's great. What I say is, how are you doing? Because having a genuine interest in how they're coping with things, what they're seeing, is a great place to start with an outreach. That is literally, that empathy for what they're going through right now. I have a very good friend of mine, we've been friends for many, many years. He went and got the jab so that they could travel, and then he ended up in the hospital. And after a year or so of health problems, heart attacks, etc., we were at a Regina Pats game a little while ago, and he goes to me, Ian, you know what? I'm so thankful for you because you were right about everything. It took a year, but I got the apology and I got the hug, and he said, thank you, because we took one, we didn't take two, and we stopped. All right, so we are making a difference in these folks' lives. Sometimes it doesn't feel like it, and other people they'll just block you. But start off with, how are you doing? In my mind, that's the one thing you can do to see what's going on with them. Because as Benita said, you don't know where they're at. You don't want to charge in with the guns a-blazing. You're not going to get anywhere, right? Empathy, establish a relationship again, bring them in, have a conversation, leave the freedom stuff aside. When you get to it, it'll come out naturally.
Great advice, Ian. You know, I mentioned a few minutes ago that all of us know people who are on the fence, who are undecided, who are still open-minded but not convinced. Benita said, you know, what one thing can you do tomorrow? Reach out to one of those people and use these excellent ideas that Ian just said, but reach out to one person who's on the fence tomorrow. If all of us, I mean, it's like, you remember when COVID first came out and all of us learned what this R naught meant, you know, R with the subscript 0, right? And if the number is greater than 1, then the virus is increasing. If the number is less than 1, the virus is receding. So all we need is an R naught greater than 1. You only need to impact 1.1 person, and as long as that carries on, we'll eventually get the whole world on our side. So tomorrow, reach out and have a conversation with one person who's still on the fence.
Thank you, gentlemen. Let's move on now to talking more about organizations rather than individuals, although organizations are made up of individuals. There's a concept called identity politics, and it's something that our adversary has been using against us. And basically, the concept is that you assume since an individual is associated with a certain organization, they must therefore have all the traits of the other individuals in the organization. You're making an assumption. And I used to make that mistake. I would assume that since a certain individual was affiliated with a certain group, they must be that. And I stopped seeing them as an individual and I made assumptions. How many can admit that they've done that? That they've made assumptions about groups? We need to be very cautious on that because right now we're working for the protection and restoration of individual rights, individual freedoms, and individual responsibilities. Notice I said individual each of those times. Individual. Now, we get more done when we get together as a group and we work together. We're learning that right now, but it's still up to the individual. So let's talk about groups for the moment, and the topic is not freedom groups. As much as I know you like freedom groups, you guys. The topic is those other groups that are doing work we're not crazy about. How many are unhappy with the direction of their church right now? The church they go to or used to go to. Okay, how many are unhappy with what your union is doing, if you're part of a union? Okay, how many are unhappy with your school board and maybe some of the decisions that have been made regarding the kids? Oh, we got a lot of hands going up right now. How many are unhappy with at least one municipal council? How many? Yeah, oh, lots of hands. How many are unhappy with some things your province is doing? Oh, look at all those hands. And of course, how many are unhappy with the federal government? The whole room. Okay. So we're looking at transforming the work of a group. That's the objective. There are groups out there we're not happy with what they're doing. We want them to do better. We want to transform the group from within. The group is full of individuals. Now, if we can become one of the individuals in the group, aha, then we might have a say and be able to steer the direction of the group. That's one thing. Another thing is to be able to have influence upon individuals in the group. So for example, how many of you can name at least one of your municipal councillors or your mayor? Do you know the name of at least one? Okay, I noticed that not every hand in this room went up, and that concerns me. You need to be engaged. You have to be engaged in the political goings-on. Don't let the word politics scare you. The word politics is simply about policies and people. That's what it is. That's politics, okay? Policies and people. And if you don't already engage politically as of today, I insist that you do. Because that's going to help the freedom movement going forward. Politics alone is not the answer. There's more. But politics is a big part of it. And you have to get engaged with all of these groups that we talked about. How many of you at least know the name of your MLA? Oh, again, not all the hands are going up. I'm very concerned. How many know the name of their MP? Okay, quite a few hands going up. Okay, good. So these are things you need to know because you need to get engaged. So if you're not a part of that group making decisions yet, although I'm going to nudge you, some of you, to go in that direction, the key is to start having an influence upon that group. Now, influencing people in a group. We talked a bit about conflict resolution if you've already bumped heads or had a disagreement, but perhaps it's an individual you've never even met yet. Okay, you don't even know them. Perhaps you haven't yet reached out. Let's talk a bit about how to have an influence on an individual in a group that's making decisions that are affecting your life or your family's life. How do we influence these individuals in these groups?
Okay, partly so as to keep my answer short, how about we look at municipal politicians? Now, I mentioned yesterday that in fifth generation warfare that they keep switching the assault, right? Like the COVID assault is done. It's just mopping up operations that are going on there. So they're switching to the 15-minute cities, the climate lockdown nonsense, this kind of stuff. This is where the fight is right now. This is the front of the battle. So let's all look at talking to at least one of your municipal politicians, because this is a non-COVID issue. It's not a medical issue. So we're changing the subject with them. This is an issue that they will have a very difficult time justifying. It has nothing to do with the climate. It has nothing to do with the environment. And it's against the law. We have mobility rights guaranteed in our Constitution. You can't limit people's ability to move around the country. This is against the law. How about we approach our municipal, at least one councilman or alderman or whatever you call it in your community, and talk to them and try to get them to understand that this is that the purpose behind 15-minute cities has nothing to do with the propaganda that we're being fed. And it's against the law. How about that?
All right, I'm going to take a little bit of a different tack from Donald, but he's got the 5th generation warfare, hearts and minds. I mean, that is literally what it comes down to, hearts and minds. There are no tanks on the streets, okay? You have to go into these organizations, your church, your council, your neighborhood, your homeowners association, whatever group you're trying to influence, and you have to be thinking hearts and minds, all right? So I'm going to tell you how you do that. There is the first thing you need to do is seek first to understand. I'm going to pull that right out of the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. If anybody's ever read it, you know what it means, right? The first thing you want to do is listen, not talk. You want to listen to what they have to say, find out where their heart and mind is at. Because only then can you understand how you can influence them and bring them, we'll say bring them into the light, but at least get them to open up their mind. If you start barraging them, the walls are up, the done, it's conversation's over. Seek first to understand. That's step 1. The second part of that is the other one of the 7 habits. Think win-win. This person is motivated by something that they want. Understanding what they want and what is beneficial to them can help you form a relationship that lets you both move forward. Okay? And that will not happen without what I talked about in my opening thing, establishing trust. So seek first to understand, establish the trust, think of a win-win so that they come out in front, you come out in front. Then you can have an open and honest conversation that is factually based with references and materials. You can't just hand them a 200-page affidavit. They're not even going to read it. It's going in the trash bin. Okay? Have that first conversation. That is how you would influence a person one-on-one in any organization. It doesn't matter whether it's politics, religion, homeowners associations, your local YMCA, it's how you talk to people. You don't go in there to drive your agenda, you go in there to hear them and win over hearts and minds.
So I'm going to do a little demonstration here now. How many of you have heard that phrase, if you can't beat them, join them? You've heard that one? Can't beat them, join them. Okay, so let's pretend we've used all these strategies that have been suggested, and we've been working so hard to get our municipal council to change directions. Maybe it's not working yet, but I suspect you all haven't done those strategies yet, so you are going to try those. If you can't beat them, join them means your name goes in to serve on municipal council. Who thinks they could run at some point? They could run, okay? Politics matters. It's about policies and people. And those policies affect your life. And a whole bunch of those policies that have been made, they need to be undone. They need to be amended. Some of them need to be rejected and deleted completely. How many agree we've got to transform a lot of laws to make things right? Okay, so I'd like to introduce you to a concept that's happening in Alberta right now. It's called Take Back Alberta. Has anybody heard of it? Yes, some of you have heard of it. Now, I would love to see this concept brought to other provinces. David Parker is one of our presenters, but I'm qualified to speak on this somewhat as well. And I'm using a steering wheel of a ship, okay? Now, who knows how fast a big ship turns? How fast does it turn? Fast or slow? Slow. It turns slow. So if you want it to turn slow, let's say we want to go to the left, we're going to push it to the left. It's going to be a moment, then it starts turning because the rudder's moving, etc., etc. We're moving it to the left. How many would you prefer that our government moves right, actually? Who would prefer? Can you pull on that? You pull on that? Okay. So the concept of if you can't beat them, join them means you start running for office and you start joining these boards that are associated with the groups, your church board, your union board, you run to be a part of your local constituency association that supports your MLA of the current governing party. So whatever the current governing party is, you join it. Now, if your current governing party is a little to the left, well, that'll take some strategic behavior to join that. If it's on the right, okay, we're getting along here. I think that's going to work more for us because the values seem to align better that way. So you join something called the Constituency Association. So first you need to know what constituency you're in. You need to know what your current governing party is. If it's not your current governing party that you can stomach joining, well, then you join the party that's closest to your values. So in my case, personally, I have joined the United Conservative Party of Alberta. Now, I'm not the only one who joined the UCP. What happened in 2022 is that a whole whack of freedom-minded people joined the UCP. And what we accomplished in April of 2022 is we voted out our UCP leader. We got rid of Jason Kenney, folks. We got rid of him. Now, how did we do that? There was coordinated activity that took place behind the scenes first, which contributed to a leadership review for Jason Kenney. So people like you were having meetings, pushing for coordinated activity. The meetings took place, the leadership review happened, and at that leadership review, we had enough. The United Conservative Party was just showered with new memberships of freedom-minded individuals who had just suddenly started to care about politics because they recognize politics is people and policies, and you care. You care now about policies. Maybe you didn't care 4 years ago, but you sure care now because those policies hurt you. So they joined the party and they voted out the old leader and then elected a new freedom-minded leader. Personally, I like her very much. How many like Danielle Smith? You've heard about her? She spoke up and recognized that the unvaccinated were the most abused people. I'm paraphrasing, but she recognized the plight of the unvaccinated. That's big to me. She also, her first act when she became premier was she put forth a Sovereignty Act, so Alberta gets to stand up more effectively to the federal government. Anyways, my topic is, how do you change an organization from within? You join it, and then you bring all your friends. And sometimes strategic behavior is needed. Sometimes you can't wear your freedom sweater or shout freedom or have your flags. Sometimes you gotta pretend you're one of them for a while. Sometimes you gotta pretend you're one of them until you get in, and then you're in the group. Then you bring in some of your friends, okay? You got a few more in the group. Then you figure out when you and your friends are the majority, boom, then you make the change, okay? Sometimes this could take 4 years for you to transform an organization. How many of you are in this for the long haul? You're fully committed. You are. You are. So you join that organization, you get in there, and you start voting for things. So a constituency association guides an MLA. They guide the candidate who becomes the MLA. How many of you would like to guide your MLA? Who would like to have a say? How many are ready now to join a constituency association? Okay. I propose that you seek this. You move forward with this. You join the organization. So I need to borrow one of you. Cameron, come over here. I'm going to put you on the left. And I'm going to be on the right. So we're going to just pretend for a moment that Cameron is already in the organization, and I don't like what that organization's doing, but I've joined. So Cameron wants to steer this ship to the left, okay? So I come in, I'd like to steer the ship right. But I'm kind of fighting with Cameron, and maybe he's bigger than me, and he's got a whole bunch of friends, okay? So I'd like to illustrate to you then I bring in a friend and we can steer the organization. What do you guys think of that? What do you think? This can be done. This is the work of Take Back Alberta. This is political strategy. What is politics? Policies and people. People and policies. You have to care. You have to get engaged politically. Now it takes courage, and that's our next topic. We're going to talk now about having the courage to do the work that needs to be done. Everything from running for office to getting up on a microphone and speaking up, and all the other work that needs to be done.
Big Bear, we need you to speak up and get those guys quiet back there. Where's our hall monitor? Where did he go? Did he check it out? Hey, just when we're talking about courage, he runs away. Okay, all my dear friends at the back, I love you very much. But I sure wish you'd be quieter. Thank you so much.
When you guys step outside to chat, if you are cold, just throw some more wood on the fire. We've got lots of wood. Throw more wood on the fire and stand in that zone. I also think that the market is actually at a comfortable temperature. So head into the market space. That's a great place to have a chat and look at merchandise. So if you could do that. Thank you. Thank you so much for the folks who are respecting that these folks want to listen. I appreciate you. For those who need to have conversations, can you take it out? Thank you.
Hey, there's free chocolates in the market.
How many of you would like to see the conversationalist take off? How many of you would like that? Appreciate it. Okay, so next question. Courage. Cultivating courage in ourselves and each other. You had mentioned how we need to elevate and lift one another. There's plenty of criticism. We're bringing each other down. We need to lift each other up. That's what we need to do. Cultivating courage. Okay?
There is no chocolate, guys. That was a lie.
It's amazing how difficult that is, isn't it? We are fearful of so many things in life, aren't we? We're even afraid to compliment people. Aren't we? How many times do you compliment other people during a typical day?
I kind of am.
Why?
Weird.
How can we be afraid to compliment our friends, our neighbors, our husbands, our wives, our children, our parents? How can we be afraid? And yet, we are, aren't we? This is our human nature. But courage is within you. It is your birthright. You know, just like some of you will remember The Wizard of Oz. How many remember the play and the movie, The Wizard of Oz, right? And it's funny, as some of you know anyway, I've been a band director, I've directed musicals, I've been involved in musicals, and several years ago, an American colleague told me that The Wizard of Oz is the most popular musical in America. And I was kind of surprised by that. I didn't really think it's the greatest musical, and I always thought the ending was weak. But you know what? In recent years, I've come to realize that it's a spiritual story. It's a sacred story. And the Wizard of Oz represents God. And all of the characters represent us. They're aspects of us, right? The Tin Man thinks he doesn't have a heart. He thinks he lacks love. The Scarecrow thinks he isn't smart enough. He thinks he lacks intelligence. And the Lion thinks he lacks courage. He thinks he's cowardly, right? Isn't that all of us? We think we're not smart enough. We don't have enough love. We don't have enough courage. We're not good looking. Right? All those things. Our hair's too long, too short, too dark, too white, whatever, right? But the wizard says at the end, he says, no, Says you don't need courage, you don't need intelligence. Says you already have these things. They're already within you, and this is the truth. God has already placed all the intelligence and courage and love you need in your own heart. It's already there. All you need is the recognition that it's there. You need to recognize it's there. And so the Wizard of Oz goes and gives them, you know, a material recognition, right? They get a little certificate of, you know, they get the Scarecrow, right? He gets a diploma because he's graduated from whatever he graduated. You're intelligent, right? And the lion gets a medal, right? As a sign of his courage. So he gives them little material signs showing that they have these things, but we don't get those material things in life, but that's the message of the story. You already have the courage within you. You just need to let it out. There you go. Let out your courage.
Awesome. So that actually is a great way to start. And I wanted to say, when we talked about that, all of you in this room are already some of the bravest people I know. So you don't need to find your courage, you've already done it because you're here. You spoke out, you attended rallies, you went to Ottawa, you are already courageous. Okay, but for those of you who still need to find your courage to carry on, because let's face it, we all get down, we get worn out, we need to rest, okay? You have to just reach down inside and find your why. Why am I doing this? Is it for glory? No. For me personally, there was a thing a while ago I saw, it's for the grandchildren. I'm old, I get that. But I've got 5 children, and I've got a lot of grandchildren. I'm not doing this for me because I'm going to be gone in a few years. My why I speak out, why I find the courage, and why I will not stop is because I want to build a world that my grandchildren can be proud of. And that gives me courage. So for everyone in this room, you find your why. Why do I need to stand up? Why do I need to speak out? And once you have that, it doesn't matter what they throw at us because we're centered right here and we know. All right? And the other thing about courage, and I want to touch on, is courage is not, I'm going to steal this from Green Lantern. I know it's tacky, but it's great. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is the willpower to act in spite of fear. All right? And that is a very key statement. Not a great movie, not a bad movie, but not a great movie. But that is it right there. Willpower. Pushing forward in spite of the fear. Why? Because you have the courage from your heart. That's it. That's how you find it.
Feel the fear and do it anyway.
The next topic is respect and boundaries.
I got a better quote.
In the freedom movement, I've said it more than once, that trying to coordinate freedom-minded people is like herding cats. It is. And of course, on many occasions, I've been accused of being too bossy.
No.
I've been organizing freedom events since February of 2021. I am fully dedicated and fully committed to the movement. All my time, energy, money, and resources. All of it. The freedom movement gets it all. I have sacrificed family relationships because of the freedom movement. There are people who will no longer speak to me because I'm so public. I sacrifice it all. And right now I'm asking for some people at the back to make a sacrifice. And they seem to be having trouble with that. But we're going to carry on. Respect and boundaries are very important. Freedom does not mean a free-for-all. It does not. Freedom is one side of a coin. This is something I learned from Donald Lee. Responsibility is the other. And so when you come to an event where people are here to listen to presenters, and you think your conversation is more important than what's going on here, that tells me something about your level of respect. We need to move forward. If we keep going in circles and we don't unite on an idea and move forward with it, we go nowhere. You think your conversation's so important, take it elsewhere. These people are here to listen. So respect.
One of the quotes in my book is, liberty is not the freedom to do what you want. It is the freedom to do what is right.
I've been promoting the protection and restoration of individual rights and freedoms, but I amended that statement and I said I am for the protection and restoration of individual rights, individual freedoms, and individual responsibilities. How many agree with that? This section of the symposium is now coming to a close. Each of our presenters is going to deliver their closing remarks, and then there will be a break, and then the symposium will continue, and we may have a guest presenter during that break. Please, gentlemen.
Thank you very much, Benita. If any of you has ever not crossed Benita before, don't cross Benita.
Why do you think I wear steel-toed boots?
So, thank you. What a great idea to end with is respect. I was going to save this for the we're going to have a little talk about spiritual and religious unity in a few minutes, but the basis, I think, of both our respect for each other. Well, the base of our respect for each other rests on the understanding that each one of us is a unique, individual creation of God. You know, and when we, and there are so many sayings in Christianity. I mean, the vast majority of you have some kind of a Christian background. Many of you are devoutly Christian. There are so many sayings, both in Scripture and in our kind of Christian tradition about this, right? Jesus said, what you do to the least of these, your brothers and sisters, you do to me. Right? Jesus said the two most important commandments are love God and love everyone. It is through loving and respecting everyone that we show our love and respect for God, our Creator. What we do, in fact, what we do to each other, we do to ourselves, because in spirit we are all one. And this is the understanding that lies at the root of the respect that we need in our families, in our communities, in our nations, and in all of humanity throughout the whole world. This is the understanding that will bring peace everywhere in our world. Is when we respect each other, allow each other to express themselves as their own unique creation of God in their own way. And it is precisely the denial of this respect that our whole movement is about, I think.
I'm not sure I can top Anita, to be quite honest. That was quite an engaging thing. But I will say a thing about respect. You can't respect something you don't value, right? And that's really what it comes down to. So we have to value each other before we can respect each other. And then when we talk about what is respect, respect is a verb, okay? It is an action. It is not something we have up here. It is something you do. When you respect somebody else's personal sovereignty and you value their ideas and them as a human being, a man or a woman, that is the beginning of a beautiful relationship. Okay, so you have to value them, and it is an action. Now the boundaries piece, which was the second half of that, is those are essential. All right, I have boundaries, everybody has boundaries. You cannot have everybody on your inner circle. There have to be layers. There's all kinds of things goes around to that. We are all aware of it. And we have to know what our boundaries are, and we have to establish them with our families, with our communities, with the freedom groups, right? Those are essential. They say the difference between good neighbors and bad neighbors is about 4 feet of fence, right? So I firmly believe that. Most of my neighbors are at least a mile away, and I'm okay with that. But start with the respect as a verb, do it. Give it, earn it, and you'll get there. Know your personal boundaries. And that's going to take you making sure you have some reflection inside, right? And then from there, you can build amazing relationships with everybody else in the freedom movement. Take care, everybody.
And when you are a guest at a venue or at an event, please respect the preferences of the hosts and the event organizers. It really helps because we put out a lot. Okay, there's a lot of effort that goes into this, and it's not just the hours spent this weekend, it's hours and hours of planning and meetings. The volunteers put this together so that you who attend get the most out of it. So when you respect your hosts and your event organizers, we appreciate that. So how about a round of applause for those who have demonstrated respect? Thank you. This is essential going forward. We need to have respectful conversation with one another. We need to talk about ideas, figure out where we disagree, figure out where we can get better. That's part of moving forward. And so in this presentation tonight, not only have we discussed some great ideas, but you've also seen a demonstration about how a discussion can be done. You can take this concept to your community and you can host a town hall, a panel discussion, a forum on any topic. You need a moderator, you need guests, and you need, hopefully, a respectful audience. And it's through these discussions that good work can be done. Let's hear it for our panelists, ladies and gentlemen.
Let's hear it from Benita. Right on.
And now our host, Walter, has some announcement and presentation, and you might even get a song out of this one. And we will continue with the symposium a little later in the day. And by the way, supper is scheduled for 6 p.m. And as I understand it, we have a live band tonight at 8 p.m. How many of you are sticking around for that, by the way? Can you stick around into the evening? Yes? Okay, good. Because last night we had so much fun. And then after the live band is done, we're doing something a bit unusual. We did this last night, the night before.
Drum circle.
We're having a drum circle. And so if you have a drum, bring it, or an instrument, bring it, or improvise an instrument. I don't know how you're going to do that. Actually, an empty jerry can is pretty awesome. We used empty jerry cans in Ottawa during the Freedom Convoy. It was a form of protest, carrying around empty jerry cans, and then we ended up using them as drums. So they're fantastic. So we don't want any full ones. We just put on empty ones. So we hope you'll join us for the drum circle after the band is done.
Yes.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, Walter has some presentations, and as I understand it, this is Polly. Can you please give them a round of applause? Yee-hoo.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We have a Camp Hope flag here. This is where history got made today. So God did something. But this flag has been here at Camp Hope. Who has a birthday today? Anybody with the birthday here today?
Happy birthday to
There we go. Come on out. Whoever is the birthday. No, Dave doesn't have a birthday. Dave doesn't have a birthday. I know that. Does anybody birthday today? How about tomorrow?
I have a birthday with your wife on July the 24th.
Don't tell people that because now they're going to get jealous. Nobody? Who had a birthday yesterday? Candace, where is she? Huh? Tell her to come here. While we are doing that, I want to introduce you to Polly from the Springfield Colony, Hutterite Colony, a very Give him a round of applause. A very, very good supporter of Camp Hope. Me and him, we never knew. He was the one coming and measuring out my kitchen. And we had a discussion a little bit, but I never, after that, I bought my kitchen, I moved back on. When Camp Hope started, Paulie came out. Well, I knew him a little before that already. We started to know him again. Bill, was your birthday yesterday? So, Paulie came out and he donated our kitchen for Camp Hope. The whole kitchen for Camp Hope. That is what Springfield Hutterite Colony donated to Camp Hope.
We run under the name of Springfield Woodworking.
Springfield Woodworking. And that is what is helping. If you guys need a cover, you need a cabinet, you need a kitchen, or you need a bar, you contact Paulie. And you tell Paulie that is from Camp Hope. Are you going to give him a discount a little bit?
Camp Hope discount. The code is 10%. 10%. Camp Hope is the code.
There we go. Who needs a kitchen? Come and see Paulie. 10% discount for Springfield Hutterite Colony for doing this. And that is what makes us that we can do the kitchens today. That we can serve all the people here today. And there is a lot of more Hutterite Colony what are helping with us to do this and to make this possible. And are very, very good volunteers. It is just absolutely amazing to work with all the volunteers. Quickly before I give Paulie that, is that lady here now, what had a birthday yesterday? What was her name? Candace. Candace, are you here? She is coming. Can you?
Just to tell you a little bit about Hutterites. Hutterites are involved anywhere.
You are not a Hutterite today. You don't have your suspenders on.
I'm undercover today.
So, do I have to really show you that? And look at this, guys. It's a big supporter, a good friend of mine, Paulie. What do I wear here? Can you read this, please?
Maxwell Egg Farm.
Look at that. Maxwell Colony is supporting me with my suspenders, but I can't even get suspenders from Springfield Colony.
I had a pair for you and you said you're too narrow.
Yeah, but the thing is, they were like, I don't wear a bra. I wear suspenders.
So anyways, what I want to say is about Hutterites, whenever there is charity involved, love, peace, hope, to help out others, we are just like the MCC, Mennonite, what's it called, MCC, what's the name for it?
Oh, Mennonite,
that's we kind of got our own thing, we helped them out, and this past week, all Hutterite, there's about 150 colonies in Manitoba, and there's 2 particular colonies where the sewing centers went down, and ladies from every colony came together. They were on schedule, like 4 or 5 colonies per day. All the ladies came to sew blankets for any disasters that are happening in the world, where it's sent out through the Mennonite MCC. So we're big sponsors of anything in the world where there's a disaster and where we can help others. It's
Mennonite Conference, that's what it is. See, there we go. Did Candace came in here? She's still walking. Well, that's like my wife when she's.
These 2 gentlemen were speaking here about love and respect. Love and respect go about the same depth. If you have love, you will have respect. Like the gentleman said, that respect doesn't come from in your head. It comes from a deed you do, a kind action to other people. And this other gentleman spoke here about that one Bible verse that's always stuck in my head. What you have done unto one of least of these, my brethren, you do it unto me. So Jesus actually put us in his shoes. If I hurt you, I hurt him. So let's be more kind to each other. That's why we're so supportive about this Camp Hope thing here, where people come together, red and yellow, black and white. It doesn't matter who you are and where you're from. We love you all, and we all have a purpose on this life here. Jesus created us, God created us all equally, and it's up to us to make a decision how we want to live our life and how we treat each other. So let's be more kind to each other.
Now you have to sing happy birthday. This is Candace. She had a birthday yesterday.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Candace. Happy birthday to you. So anyways, Camp Hope, the word hope stands for a lot of things, but the biggest hope that us humans have is Jesus Christ. And Jesus will always take care of us, no matter who you are and what you are. And I'm going to sing a song here. It's about hope. We do not give up today. If we give up today, there's no hope tomorrow. So let's not give up to it today. What's happening in the world, what's written in the back here, that agenda in 2030. I know all this is prophesied and revelations, and hopefully God will step in and come and take his own to himself before that happens. So anyways, the song I have here to sing is called Help Is On the Way. A woman in the Bible days, her last meal all was gone. But God sent Elisha to make his word known. He said, woman, don't you worry, for God sent me today. And before you even asked him, help was on the way. Just hold on a little longer, help is on the way. A brighter day is coming for those who believe and pray. Help wouldn't help tomorrow if you give up today. Just hold on a little longer, help is on the way. Troubles of this life come by and burdens get you down. You think no one is listening, you think no one's around. Just remember what his word says, trust him in the way. Keep your eyes towards the heavens, 'cause help is on the way. Just hold on a little longer, help is on the way. A brighter day is coming for those who believe and pray. Help wouldn't help tomorrow if you give up today. Just hold on a little longer, help is on the way. I would like to sing another song with the whole congregation together. Everybody knows this song. Jesus loves me, this I know. Jesus loves me, this I know, for the Bible tells me so. Little ones to him belong. They are weak, but he is strong. Yes, Jesus loves us. Yes, Jesus loves us. Yes, Jesus loves us. The Bible tells us so. Love you all.
Paulie is a very, very good singer, and he has to do one more song, and he has to sing my favorite song. I always, I wish he was living close to my house, because each time I'm going to go to bed, he could come, and then he could sing for me, and I would just fall asleep like that.
Okay, Walter, you're going to sing with me?
Well, I don't know how.
I'm only human, I'm just a man. Help me believe in what I could do and all that I am. Show me the stairway I have to climb. Lord, for my sake, teach me to take one day at a time. One day at a time, sweet Jesus, that's all I'm asking from you. Just give me the strength to do every day what I have to do. Yesterday's gone, sweet Jesus, and tomorrow may never be mine. So help me today, show me the way, one day at a time. Do you remember when you walked among men? Well, Jesus, you know, if you're looking below, it's worse now than then. Pushing and shoving, crowding my mind. So for my sake, Lord, teach me to take one day at a time. One day at a time, sweet Jesus, that's all I'm asking from you. Just give me the strength to do every day what I have to do. Yesterday's gone, sweet Jesus, and tomorrow may never be mine. So help me today, show me the way, one day at a time.
Thank you, guys.
One more short one. I'll do it in German. How many of you understand German here? I'll sing Jesus lost the little children in German. Jesus liebte kleine Kinder, alle Kinder auf die Welt. Brot und Geld, schwarz und weiß, es macht ihnen alles gleich. Jesus liebte kleine Kinder auf die Welt. Jesus lost the little children, all the children of the world. Red and yellow, black and white, they are precious in His sight. Jesus lost the little children of the world.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Paulie, for doing that for me, and a very good sponsor of Camp Hope. And if there is more people want to sponsor to finish this, and that they want to see that we gonna continue this, please help us to finish this, that we can. And I talked to my wife, and we gonna try, with your help, to do this once a year. But with your guys' help, we need help in financial and help in prayers. With that, we're going to try to do it once a year, and we're going to work with our young people. That's what we're going to do. Everybody agrees on that? Thank you, guys. Supper will be about 5:30, 6 o'clock. We have chicken barbecue today. Thank you.
Thank you, Walter, and thank Thank you. This is Holly wants a cracker, guys. Holly wants a supper's not till 5:30. Sorry. Now, technically we're on break, but we've got a couple bonus presentations, and then we'll get back to the symposium. You know, it's interesting to be at a symposium and then, you know, have it break out into song. I didn't know that was going to happen. I thought I was the only person who did things like that. I was standing in line at a bank once, but that's during the days when I hosted karaoke, and I was hosting karaoke 5 nights a week, and I just always had songs playing in my head. So I'm standing in line at the bank, and I just start singing. Luckily, those were the days we weren't wearing masks, and a lot of people were smiling at me. I got to see smiles. That was pretty good. I love smiles. So our next presenters are First Nations. It's another First Nations group, and they weren't here earlier when we had some other reps up here, so we'll hear some from these First Nations individuals. I wish I could tell you their names, but I can't yet pronounce them. Can you please give them a warm welcome?
Ansai, Neha, Escote, Ascosiwan, Aswawi Mustas, Ochi Convoy, Kisi Manitou, Ochi Oyamanask. What that says, my name is Fire Tornado Buffalo, and this is Popoyas, and I thank you, Great Creator Spirit, for the Ashak Oyamanask, which is the spirit of love.
Boboy Stems Queen. Alatsonai. I come from the Nemos Shishab on the west coast. A place called Sunshine Coast, where it is the sunniest place in the province. And I brought it here with me. It followed me on the sun on the Swoop airline, so I got here Friday. Proud to be here. I have a simple message where people have never had it in them that we are free, that we're here to walk in sovereignty, we're walking in unity. Anybody that listens to the news has to stop. What you're going to listen to now is the truth. For those people, for those persons here, and we have some Wolverines, stand up. Where's and Bill's coming up back here. We have a few Wolverines here. What we've done is accepted non-original people to walk with us on unity on this land again. And it's a very simple process. Give up the corporation. Undo your contract with Canada. And walk, step one forward off the ship. It's like walking the gangplank. You know what that's like in seaman's terms? Walk off the gangplank and come and join us back on the lands. As we have been at this for a couple years now, there's a couple main things that bring us sovereignty. Not only the contracts that we just talked about with Canada, that can be dissipated. What we have is our own money. And that's been worked on. We did have a bank in the last 2, 3, 4 days. And in their system, it's called Infinity Perpetual Dollars. You know what? Our friends, our original people, our alliance said no to that money. Because it's not real. He said that what we had in our account, and our account for your people, for all of this, and we call this new land Kanatin. So in unity, we become joint tenancy. Unity of possession becomes time, it becomes space, it becomes now. So as I said that we have our own money, so will we have our own marshal and our own security force with that. And how are we going to manage all of this? To one system of Council of 13. That's why I'm here on the lands of this Broken Head. I'm sorry I missed your meeting yesterday. and I missed my friend Big Bear's conversation this morning, but we were up in Birkenhead, and I have some work to do with the clan mothers and the matriarchs. Our peoples of the Salmon, where I am from, we are an international tribe already, the first time probably in history recognized as a tribe. And now Alberta and Saskatchewan has been put in presentment and default notice. Our friend from Pugon was here just a minute ago, and he's gone to the other meeting. We have 2 more notices to Alberta. The Service Corporation of Alberta does not own the lands. There is no legitimate treaty on it. So the people, our original people, have said the lease is up. So as the lease is up, I'm here now to make a presentation on behalf of Manitoba. The lease is up here in Winnipeg, and it's been 50 years since they paid their bill. And it's going to go back to the people. And so everybody that's worried about losing their land, don't be, because the UN cannot come to our lands without our permission. And that's already been filed. And so as we have endured all of this corruption, I asked my friend, who is the foreign corporation that you're part of if you're with Canada? Our foreign corporation is not on our lands. This is ours. Peoples of the Salmon is a tribe. The Alliance of Kanatin and the Council of 13 is your government. It's not de facto in any sense, so thank you.
So I'll admit that I don't understand every word that was just said. I'm not First Nations. But what I do appreciate is that we have various First Nations representatives here this weekend. I think that's fantastic, don't you? There are some aspects of the First Nations belief system that I haven't understood yet. Maybe one day I will. I grew up in a more conventional system, but I'm eager to learn because I, like you, am searching for solutions. And it's possible what he presented is part of the solution. I acknowledge that possibility. I don't understand it yet, so I can't say it resonates with me 100%. But I'm glad he's here. And I'm glad that we're exploring ideas and these potential solutions. And we'll be exploring more ideas in the symposium a little later today. So what's going to happen is we're going to take a 10-minute break. And when we come back, we're going to have a little presentation from Zoe, and then we'll get back into the symposium. And then about an hour later after that, will be supper. So enjoy your break, ladies and gentlemen, and I'll see you in a bit.
A freedom smell. Freedom to poison your lungs. Oh. The other stuff.
A little while. Catch you later. Thanks for joining me. Bye. Whoa, 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 whoa.
I felt that go down. Oh, here.
Do the side too, though, for the other side, other side.
I feel it.
Me, I can't hold it for you? Oh, that thing. Oh.
You're funny.
Alright, peeps. I am going to sign off for now. Maybe we'll go live later. But yeah, you guys all have a good evening. And if we are still here tomorrow and there's events and stuff going on tomorrow, then we will go live. But I appreciate all of you coming and hanging out in my YouTube video and hanging out in the chat. So we will talk to you later. Have a good evening.